Hi, I'm Dave. If you're watching this video, you've probably just rented our camper or you're looking at renting our camper. So we thought we'd put together a little video to show you the inside and the outside and what we've got to show you. What you've rented is a Forest River Cherokee Wolf Pup. So if you don't find out what you need to know from this video, feel free to Google forestriver.com and they'll have tons of videos in there for you. Usually the first thing that we worry about when we pull into a campsite is leveling the camper. And we have a little level, not big, but you can kind of use that to get an idea on the front and on the sides. So when you pull in, probably one side or the other is going to be a little lower. So you go to take the low side, use these spacers. We have lots of spacers in there, so you can 1, 2, or 3, whatever you need. Put them on there and then pull your wheel up onto that, okay? Once you've done that, recheck your level. If it looks pretty close, then go to the front and use your crank to level it backwards and forwards, okay? Once that's in place, you'll be able to, at that point, oh, by the way, we also have these chucks. Once it's level, take these chucks, you put one on the front, one on the back of both tires. One there, the other side on the front, okay? That'll keep it from rolling, going anywhere, okay? Once that's in place, these are called scissor stabilizers, and they're manual. They're not load bearing, they're not designed to adjust your level of the thing at all, okay? So you put that on there and crank that down all the way onto a pad. Once it's on the pad snug, take another half crank, and that's good enough. If you try to use it to actually change the stabilization on it, then you'll eventually bend that. Okay, so it's not designed, it's just strictly to stabilize it once it's already level. Pause. We've got 3 sources of power. One is propane. The other one, if you're into a RV camp like we're in right now, then you have electricity. You can plug and play. The other option is if you're off-road, we have a generator that's available. So if you're going to be off-road for any length of time, you're probably going to want to think about using that. Pause. Okay, on this side, it's where I keep the what I call the dirty bin and the clean bin. Clean bin is always on the left, and it will hold the hose if you want to use direct water from the city, and also your power cord. Okay, we've got those already set up, and they're already hooked up and ready to go. One thing to note: we have a filter that'll be separate from that. So always try to put that filter into the water source. That'll drain out the little pebbles and the sand and stuff so it doesn't get into the system. Then hook your hose up to that. And you've got two hose outlets. The one on the right is called city water connection, okay? This is if you want to use the water straight from the city or the park that you're using. Once you get that in there, you turn that on and you turn it on slowly so that it's not, some of these places have way too much pressure and they'll blow that out. Once you get that on, you need to go inside and turn your faucets on, pump the air out, and make sure it's going. If you are planning on using camping mostly without direct water, you have a freshwater container. It holds 32 gallons of water, okay? And I'll show you inside how you check to see how full it is. But this is where you would also use this to fill that up if it's low, okay? But you won't need that if you're in an RV park. This is where you hooked up your electricity, also where you would hook up to the generator, okay? I'll probably put another video in there that's a professional video on how to dump your waste. But this is the waste tube, okay? This is the end that would hook into your waste program. You have a you have two tanks. You have a gray tank and a black tank. The gray has the gray. If you can come in a little closer, Terry, and show them. The gray is the gray tank on the right. The big tank, pipe has a black one, and that's your black tank. The black tank is for your from the toilet and the solid waste. Okay. The other one is designed for from your shower and from your washing your dishes, that kind of thing. Okay. Pause. Okay. So when you get ready to hook this up, you'll take this off. Make sure those are up and down so they're shut off, and then you'll hook that to it. Okay. Once that's hooked and ready to go, this is the end that will pull over and go into your waste dump spot. Okay. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to take that red hose I just showed you that was with this, and we're going to hook that up to the water. And this, because this doesn't have a pump, and we've got a little square hole cut in the screen here. Okay, you're going to take that hose and you're going to run it through that. You can run it into the toilet. Okay, when that's ready to start dumping, you turn that and get it to dumping. Then you turn the water on to the hose, and someone should probably be in there with it, making sure it's running through, and it'll flush that out. Pause. So once you've run that through, you'll notice that you've got a clear spot here and a clear spot there. You can see once that becomes where it's just flushing through, and it may take quite a bit of water to make that happen. You want to make sure you flush out all the toilet paper and all of that. Okay. Once that happens, you can shut that off and shut the water off. At that point, you come and you take the gray tank. The gray tank will have soap in it from washing your hands, soap from washing the shower, and that's the stuff that we want to follow the nasty stuff we've been talking about and help clean out that pipe. Okay. It would be good probably to take that hose also and move it over to the sink at that point and just help flush it on through. Most of that will flush through by itself. Turn the hose off after you're done. Be careful of the screen. You don't continue to rip it, and pull that hose out, and then shut all of this off, and you should be ready to go. When you're done with all the hoses and this, be sure and drain them completely, because if you don't, if you just roll them up and they got a lot of water, they'll drain them and make a muddy mess inside of that camper. So if you would please think about that. Pause.